Okay, we're going to have several problems that are just applications of volume. One of them is where you have tanks of two different sizes where they're basically putting water from one tank into the other tank. Let's go ahead and try one of these, make sure you understand. The first thing you're going to need to do is to find the volume of each of these tanks. So we're going to start with tank A just because A comes before B. And I'm going to say that for the tank A, I can do a volume. It's of a cylinder should be pi r square h. So that should take care of tank A. And then I have a pi times 7 squared times 7. And then that should give me an answer in Desmos. I can go ahead and find that volume, or I could just simplify it. I'm going to leave it in terms of pi. So if I want pi on my paper, remember I do not put pi in the calculator. So let's clear out some of the old stuff here, and let's try this. Just do 7 times 7 squared. Once again, I do not need to put in pi because I want to leave the pi on my paper. That's 343. So I'm going to have 343 pi so far. Now let's go ahead and try tank B. Tank B is going to be in red here. So I'm going to use the same volume formula, pi r square h. So it's going to be pi, this time 4 squared times 19. And then we'll go back to Desmos. And I need a 4 squared times 19. And that is 304. And once again, in terms of pi, I'm just going to leave it as 304 pi. Now, once I have the two volumes, it's time to figure out what I'm doing. So they are pumping water from tank A into tank B until B is completely full. You notice when they say B is completely full, they kind of tip you off that the volume for B should be less than the volume for A. So if I had a number bigger than 343 for B, it kind of tips me off that I did something wrong. And it wants to know what percent of container A is still full. Well, basically, I need to figure out how much water has left tank A. So I used to have a full tank, 343, and I just have a small amount left because I've lost 304 pi has been pumped into the other tank. So my stylus isn't wanting to cooperate right now, but that should be a 304 pi. Has been taken out. So to find out how much is left, I just need to do 343 minus 304. So once again, I can go over here. 343 minus 304 means I basically have 39 pi left in the tank. Now, anytime I do a percent, what I basically need is what I'm talking about. And this time it's the amount of water left in the tank, the 39, divided by the total number of water in the original volume of the tank, which is 343. So it's always a percent is always what I'm talking about, the 39 compared to the total amount. In this case, the total amount of water tank A will hold 343. Now, that would be as a percent. I have to move the decimal 2 places. So that should be 11.37, rounding to the nearest tenth. The 7 will round that up. So I have an 11.4. Percent would be the answer to that one. Now, some of you may be asking, why didn't you type in the pi's? Well, if I would have had a pi on top and a pi on the bottom, and all that would have happened is the pi's would have canceled out. So that's another good reason to leave that in terms of pi. So you should have a 11.4 there. Hope this is helpful to you on how to solve these problems.